jQuery effects. jQuery is well known for its effects and simplicity when it comes to executing them. Here we will learn about hide, show, fading, as well as sliding. Hide and show. We can select an element and instantly hide or show it. We can do this with both JavaScript or jQuery, but jQuery just makes it a little bit easier. So first we'll cover hide. To hide an element, we use the following code. We select whatever we want to hide, and we type .hide parentheses, and that's our method. This will hide the selected element instantly. We can also change the pace that it hides itself. You can give the parameter of fast or slow, which is equal to 200 or 600. Alternatively, you can supply the hide effect with your own time in milliseconds. So as a few examples here, you select your element, and just regular hide will hide it instantly. If you have something selected and your parameter is fast, it will quickly hide it, but not instantly, so you can actually see it kind of fade away. Slow, instead of it quickly starting to hide itself, it will slowly hide itself. And then we have our own custom parameter here. I just wrote 451, that's 451 milliseconds, and that means that this selector, whatever we select here, is going to take 451 milliseconds to hide. Also know that the higher the millisecond, the slower the effect happens. What I mean is 100 milliseconds is pretty fast, that's 1/10 of a second. 900 milliseconds is a little bit slower, where that's 90% of 1 second. Then we have show. Show is used the exact same way that hide is. However, show will show, or unhide it if you will, the element that is selected. So here we have our selector, show, and this will show it instantly. If we show and type in fast, it will quickly show it. Slow will slowly show it. And then we have our custom integer, where 802 is again the integer in milliseconds, and you don't have to stick with 802. You can stick with 100, 1 for super fast. You could put 8,000 for 8 seconds. In any scenario, this number here, this integer, is going to be in milliseconds. So to get that in seconds, you just divide by 1,000. So 8,000 divided by 1,000 is 8, so 8 seconds. Let's look at a demo here. We have button ID demo1. When we click it, it's going to select the element that has an ID of hide me. It's going to hide, and it's going to take half a second or 500 milliseconds to hide it. So let's see what happens. It hit it like that, and it did take half a second for it to actually hide. Also, don't forget about the toggle method. This will save you the hassle of writing a function that hides or shows an element. Remember, what toggle does is if it's hidden, it will show it. If it's visible, it will hide it. So it toggles back and forth, like a light switch. Next, we have fading effects. And we have 3 options for fading. We have fade in, fade out, and fade toggle. All 3 of these effects are used in the exact same manner that hide as well as show are. We're going to cover just one of them right now because they're all used the exact same way. So for all the fade effects, so you can just replace this here, this highlighted part, with fade in, fade out, or fade toggle. First parameter is how long it's going to take. Second parameter is a callback. So your duration is the fast or the slow parameters. Numbers can be given instead as milliseconds, and we've seen this already. And a callback is a function to execute once the effect has finished. And we will learn about callbacks after this class and how we can make use of them. To fade an element out, we write our code like this. We have button with ID of fade me. When we click it, so this is this button here, it's going to execute our function. Then it's going to select span with the ID of fade out. It's going to fade it out. It's going to take 712 milliseconds to fully fade out. So let's see what happens when we click this. You see it didn't fade out instantly, it slowly faded out. To be exact, it actually took 712 milliseconds to fade out. We also have fade toggle. This will fade your element in and out, so you don't need to write a function to fade something in and then fade it out. This will fade in the hidden element and it will fade out the visible element. Just like how regular toggle works with hide and show, only this has the effect of fading in and fading out. We also have a sliding effect. Sliding is used the same way as the fade effects are. With sliding, we have 3 options: slide up, slide down, and slide toggle. Slide up will hide your element while sliding it upwards. So here we have our selector, ID of slide up, and our method is slide up. Remember, it is case sensitive, so the U has to be in uppercase. Same with fade in, fade out. It's all camel case. So you do have to make sure that your letters are actually capitalized or lowercase. Back to what I was saying, we have slide up 300. That means it's going to take 300 milliseconds to slide this up. So let's see what happens when we click this. It slid all of it up, and you notice how everything below it actually moved up. And it took 300 milliseconds to do that. We can also slide elements down and toggle slide them. Toggle slide is when you want to hide an element, you use slide up. So it slides it up and it hides it. And then when you want to show it, you use slide down. Or alternatively, you can use toggle slide, and that will slide it up and down depending on whether it's visible or it's hidden. And then just a few finishing notes here. There are a few other effects that jQuery offers. To view them all, you just go to appy.jquery.com/category/effects, and more effects will be covered soon. And lastly, we have our homework. Remember, all homework is optional. So what I want you to do for your homework is I want you to create an HTML block element such as div or h1 and use jQuery to hide it. Once you have that, then create an HTML element that is styled with display none. So when you go and view your page, your element should not show up, but it will still be there in the source code. And then I want you to use jQuery to show it. Once you have those complete, create another element and fade it out. Then fade the element back in. Use a button or a click event if you need to. And lastly, toggle slide a large element such as a full paragraph. The wording in the paragraph isn't important, it's just the effect that we actually want to learn about. So when you click it, it should slide up. When you click it again, it should slide down. For this, you're probably going to actually have to use a button with the click event attached to it. Once you slide something up, you can't click it again because it's actually hidden. It's disappeared. So good luck with that. And again, I just want to let you know, homework is optional. After this class, I won't be letting you know that homework is optional. It will still say here that it is optional, but I'm not going to verbally say it anymore. So next time you see a homework assignment, please don't feel pressured that you actually have to do it. This is actually just for your benefit, for a little bit of practice to help you actually fully understand how the effects work and how we can take advantage of them.